And there we go. And we're off to the races.
All right.
Yes. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Inside Texas with Jeff and Mitch, or Mitch and Jeff. I would say it's Mitch and Jeff. It's Mitch
Mutt
and Jeff. Mutt and Jeff. That's pretty much what I like to call it, too.
That's exactly right.
Mutt and Jeff. I'm going to fix this doggone microphone, whether I live or die, to get through the night anyway.
I'm glad you got the bad one and not me this time.
No, you got the. I make sure you have the good one, because you're the one that knows what's going on and what to say. Me,
man,
I have no clue anymore. I every time something changes and goes around, it's crazy. But anyway, joining us at the helm, ladies and gentlemen, is the one, the only, the talented, I don't even know what to say.
No,
the talented,
you're too tired.
I'm too tired. You're right. It's like I got way too much going on.
I'm here, brother.
Yeah,
we're here after 2 weeks. I know you did the show without me. I apologize 2 weeks ago.
No, that was.
And I had a very important dinner in out of town that I really needed to go, representing Matagorda County.
Yeah.
Really important, and so we had to do that. And then I understand that life just gets in the way last Wednesday, but we're here. I told Jeff earlier today, man, I am primed to talk. I am ready to go. I want to get the communication.
There we go. Oh. Now I can got it finally.
Okay.
You can hear, right?
I can hear now.
Oh my God.
So a lot going on in our community. I can share a lot. I can.
There is a lot.
There is a lot.
There's a lot of complaining, moaning, groaning about different things. And you know what? My thing is this, Mitch. It's sort of like, if there's nothing to talk about, somebody will come up with some crap to talk about anyway.
So it's bad.
But anybody that when you're trying to do good,
yes,
trying to help the community, and
yes,
it's not 2% say it's great, the other 98 say it's no good, and we're gonna do it.
Right?
No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
The big thing that I see on Facebook, and I go on Facebook and follow it quite a bit. By the way, the show tonight is brought to you by.
Let's go.
You ready?
Got to have our sponsors.
I got a ton of them. Okay. God's Fur Babies is one.
Okay, good.
Okay, the ambulance that goes around cutting dogs' hairs.
Yeah,
Beth does a great job. Hunter Kennedy's company.
Yeah,
which is All Pro Claim Services.
Oh, yeah, that's important when you start dealing with the insurance company. That is very important.
Right. And the Corner Deli in Tangaria. I don't know if you heard about that place.
I've heard about it.
There's a fat guy that's a cook. Yeah, man. Let me tell you,
I've had his food before. I just have not made it down to the big metropolis
of Wadsworth,
Texas. Although, if I can find a spare 30 minutes, I'm headed down there.
Yeah, come down there. Really, we got people coming from everywhere, and I'm thankful for everybody that's come down.
Where are some of the phone calls coming from? Won't know if you're open.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I got to turn that on too, so we have the phone calls. I'll make sure we get that.
Okay, good.
979-325-7016 is the number to call if you want to call in, but don't give it about 2-3 minutes, and then we'll have it on for you.
Excellent.
All right. Anyway, we've been getting up at 5:30 in the morning. Whoa. And working till 1:30 in the afternoon, but open till 1:30 in the afternoon. Getting home about 3-4 o'clock. Ooh. I didn't realize how old I was to want to take a nap at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh boy!
Oh man, it's a kicker. But we have a lot of great food. A lot of really, knock on wood, not one person has complained about the food.
Yeah.
And everybody
I have a complaint.
Do you?
Yeah.
You haven't gotten any.
I haven't. Well, no. You ran out of Philly cheesesteak? What?
Unbelievable.
What?
Unbelievable.
You ran out?
Yeah. So I figured on the first day, right? First or second day, the Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
I put stuff. When you put stuff on Facebook, you're like, only one or two people are going to show up.
Yeah.
Every freaking person in the world showing up for these Philly cheesesteaks. And I ask everybody that eats them and stuff, they go, "Oh my God,
yeah,
this is the."
And you're from Philly, right?
I don't.
Better do a damn Philly.
I don't admit it anymore.
Oh, okay. You're from Texas now.
Yeah, I'm from Texas now, but
okay.
No, the Phillies, man, they're going. They're that good that my wife eats one every day. I'm on a diet, drinking a gallon of water. I hope you're listening, Lydia, so you know it.
All right.
But yeah, so the Phillies, the meatball sauce. I make homemade meatballs.
Okay.
The homemade sauce.
Yeah.
Everything is homemade. The beer batter. The craze was when we first opened up was the beer battered. Shinerbach beer battered. By the way. Shinerbach beer battered. Chicken. Mango habanero.
I saw that
sandwich. Oh, jeez!
So, and you call that the Brian special?
It's the Brian something. Yeah,
okay,
I had to put the kids' names in it.
I read it.
Man alive! Yeah, there weren't enough chickens in town.
Oh my gosh!
They were running for the hills, and everybody's like, "Oh,
the cows were happy."
Oh, the cows were happy that day.
Now they're not too happy because of the
I was going to call
Philly
it
cheesesteak.
You know, you can't call the place Chick-fil-A. We were going to call it Felipe.
Felipe. There you go.
But man, it was good. We cut our own French fries by hand.
Okay.
Breakfast
double fry them. I hope you got to double fry the French fries, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
And they're
I need it double fried.
There it is. There it is, right there. There's okay. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera here. And that's what it looks like there. Yeah. There you go. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a sandwich there. So, but I want to thank everybody that's been a part of it.
Glad it's successful.
It's a part of Inside Texas. So
this is Easter weekend. Tell me what your plans are for Easter weekend. A lot of people headed down to Matagorda this weekend.
So we decided to open late Friday and Saturday night.
Okay, it's for those people driving through town. Okay.
So on Friday we're going to open for breakfast and close at 8:00 at night. So we open at 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And we're going to be there until 8:00 at night.
You've got 3 shifts that are going to work.
Yeah, 3 shifts. Me, and me. And then,
but what if I'm headed to Matagorda?
Yeah,
and I don't have the time to come in and sit. Can I just get it and then
sure
go?
You can call in
and
the
then
order.
Just head down.
You can call in the order.
Oh, already I can call the order in.
Yeah.
So it's ready when I get there.
Yeah, they actually have phone service down there now in Wadsworth. But I'll tell you what, it's like the Green Acres thing where you have to wind that thing. Yeah. It's no, but you can call 979-476-4469, 979-476-44, which happens to be my cell phone, and everybody calls it.
Excellent.
So, but yeah, we get
order for the family, and then pick it up, and you can head down to Matagorda or wherever you're headed. You might be going to Chicken Pen. There's no telling where you're headed.
You know, wherever you're going,
pick it up.
Yeah. But on the way down, it's inside the Citgo.
Okay.
In Wadsworth. There's only 2 gas stations: Guffey's.
Yeah. Okay.
Guffey's, which has great stuff too.
Yeah.
And the Citgo.
That's the second one.
That's
the one on the south side of the big south side of Wadsworth.
Yeah. If you go 2 blocks, you're on the south side of Wadsworth.
Yeah, I like it.
The north side is Guffey's. The south side is
Got it.
So like the South Philly, the South Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, that's right. I get it.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be open from 11 to 8 on Saturdays.
Okay.
Tomorrow night we're doing homemade
Friday night.
Tomorrow night, which is Friday and Saturday night. It's Good Friday, by the way, right?
Oh, that's right.
So we are doing a Cajun pasta with shrimp and crab meat.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't expect to walk into a gas station and get stuff like this. Also,
I'm thinking of drivers, dives, and dives. I think that we got the episode.
Somebody's already called them.
Oh, I love it.
So, and I've met Guy Fieri a couple times.
Okay.
And when we had the other place, there was a plan to come over there too, but then COVID hit and stuff like that. Because he was in town. He was in Palacios, I think, at one time and did something. But anyway, he will be. He'll be around in the summertime. So we're gonna we're gonna do homemade spaghetti and meatballs tomorrow night. The Cajun pasta that we make from scratch. And or the hamburger steak. People that aren't celebrating,
right?
Or just eat meat anyway.
Right.
So we're gonna be doing that tomorrow night. Tomorrow night and Saturday night. So. If we run out, go back to the cheesesteaks.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is. So there's a half hour right there on my plate.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. So the other thing we're working on too is a food truck.
Oh, boy.
So we're gonna have that. Going too. And my good friend Hunter's working with me on that.
Excellent.
So we're doing all that. But
well, Jeff, I'm upset. I am upset with what's going on.
Get it out. Get it off your chest.
Well. You know,
you want to lay down in the recliner?
No,
so I can...
maybe I better relax and recline. But no, I've been keeping up. You know, we talked about the pool issue, the Bay City pool.
Yeah,
and I've been keeping up. And of course, I am privy. I am in a lot of meetings, and I talk to a lot of the elected officials, and I know what's going on, and it just aggravates me when I read things in the paper, or even if the questions along the lines of, you know, who's supposed to be paying for the pool and what's going on.
Right.
And I really want the community to do your homework. Excuse me. So we've got a pool that's 45 years old.
Correct.
And it's come to the end of its life.
Yes.
And let's just be honest.
Yes.
It's had it.
Been there. Yep. Done many fundraisers for the Bay City Parks and Recreation for it.
Yeah, and so the idea is, do we continue to pour $1 million into a pool that is at the end of its life? Now, is that the right way to spend your tax dollars, my tax dollars? I venture to tell you no.
No.
But when you start looking at a new pool, you're looking at anywhere from $6 to $10 to $20 million as to what amenities are there.
Right.
I know the swim coach at Bay CISD wants a warm-up swimming pool that's separate from the competition pool. So now we're talking two pools in conjunction. There's those that want water parks, and so this idea of the pool literally goes from 8-9 million to 27 million
just for the pool.
Just for the facility,
right?
Depending on what amenities you put into it, right?
Right.
And so the idea is, where does that money come from?
Right.
And so the city budgets X amount of money for the pool, and with roads, sewer, water, police, and all the other things that people are drainage, and all the other things that people are demanding that the city do.
Right. And
so I've read stories or I've read quotes where our industry needs to step up. And that's a great opportunity. But do you realize what our industry is already funded? Your hospital, you had a lot of industry that contributed to the bottom line of that hospital. So we would have the best hospital we could afford.
Right.
Excuse me, that we could afford.
Right.
And then you got the FEMA Dome, which is the wellness center.
Right.
We've had industry contribute to that. I promise you, until I came on air, I didn't have a bit of problem.
No, you didn't have a cough. Yeah.
So this is how worked up I get.
That's rich people looking down upon you and strangling you.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't want to lose.
But realistically, you think about all the things that our industry are involved. Let's thank them for that.
Right.
Let's thank them for the WCJC campus that's called the Center for Energy Development. They put a lot of money in that. They've put money in a lot of the things. An industry is not going to call up the city of Bay City and say, hey, you know, I've got $10 million just sitting around not doing anything. Do you want to build a pool with it? Now, if the community wants to organize and figure out a sponsorship / naming rights opportunity for industry, I'm all on board.
Right.
But to expect them, the way I've been reading articles and listening to people and listening to reading Facebook, well, why an industry calling up and saying they want to fund it? Because they're a private business reporting to either stake owners, stock owners,
right,
or investors.
Right.
And they don't have, as much as everybody would love to think that all of our industries are flush with cash and have all of this extra money, they do not.
Right.
They're working hard. The profit margins are getting thinner and thinner and thinner.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one of the reasons is security costs are getting higher and higher and higher.
Yes.
Cybersecurity costs are getting higher and higher and higher.
Yes.
Taxes are getting higher and higher and higher.
Mm-hmm.
They're already paying school taxes.
Right.
They're already paying property taxes to the city and the county,
Right.
To the Port of Bay City or the Port of Palacios, the Navigation District, the reclamation entity, the drainage entity. There's 9 taxing entities here in Bay City.
Right.
They're already paying a lot, and so to expect them to come back with even more money is just ludicrous. Now, that's not to say that they don't want to be a part of the community.
Right.
Their community service budget is X amount of money.
Right.
If you want more money from industry, you've got to get them during or before budget time.
Right.
It takes work.
Right.
I for the chamber am always adding opportunities for them to give me money.
Right.
In Lions with the Rice Festival, I am always looking for opportunities.
Sure.
I have to approach a business a year out for a new sponsorship opportunity.
Right.
For somebody to think that
Sometimes longer.
Sometimes longer.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to get on there. But for you to think, for people to think that industry is looking for opportunities like that, it's just not realistic. That's not the way industry or the world works.
No, and I think a lot of people get that just in that idea about taking some of these bigger businesses, because when they go to the football stadiums, when they go to the thing, they see all the sponsors and things around there. Okay,
there you go.
And you know, you go to school, you see what's the bank here, the Prosperity Bank.
Yeah,
you know, sponsored a lot of those signs,
Yep.
the new signs of the the scoreboards and stuff like that.
Yep.
You see that there. You know,
Tenaris had the scoreboard in Van Black
yes,
ISD.
yes.
Yep.
So a lot of that stuff, costs money, but I get it. To maybe they can they might be able to contribute a little bit towards it, or something towards it. My thing was always this. This is you said the price of the pool, correct?
Yeah.
20.
Well, I say anything from $8 million to $21 million.
Okay, so my thing is this. Everybody's been saying about a water park or a smaller water park or something like this and that, blah 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 blah.
That's part of the high dollar one.
That's part of the high dollar one. So if we were able to, if the city was able to, or the CDC or whatever, and I'm not saying that they, I don't want Jessica to jump my head and say, well, no.
Yeah.
This is just me thinking out loud.
Yeah.
If they were
like
able to find a company, not a huge one, a smaller company that does that, water parks and stuff like that, there's a good possibility that it may not cost the city or the county anything to put in a pool, if they would find a location to do their small water park.
Right.
That was my idea. But on the other hand, there's a lot of people, and the people that are complaining about, which I see that are complaining about the money on the pool and stuff like that, are not educated on. I don't think they're fully educated on how that works.
Yes,
that the city and the pool is, they'll just fix it, patch it, repair it. The other thing
they've been doing that
right
for a lot of years.
There's other people with very deep pockets that don't want to spend any more money or city money or on something like that, because they think. How many times, Mitch, have you heard, well, this is more important. That's more important.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is more important.
Oh, gosh. Everybody's little pet peeve is more important
right.
than this.
Well, they just got all new schools. They just, every Tidehaven's new.
Yeah.
Bay City's new. Van Vleck's new. They said, what else do they need? What else do they want? It's not a need or a want. It's a have to. You don't have wrestling in the schools here.
Right.
Okay? It's very big up north.
Okay.
It's very, very huge up north. Swimming, and be honest with you, I didn't know that some of the other schools had swim teams, but down here they're pretty big. Why? It's hot.
Yeah.
Pools,
being in the water is a good thing.
Being in the water is a good thing, You know, I actually saw somebody write, you know, well, there's a big ocean. They can practice out there. Why don't they rope off the ocean? I'm telling Jesus Christmas. Okay, that person that said that, I want you to swim out of the ocean, make a big hole in the sand, put your head in it and bury it.
And rope it off.
Rope it off for us.
You'll rope us off.
So the whole thing is there's multiple ways to get this.
There is.
To get to where it needs to be. But, you know, one thing, you know, maybe a little bit of everything. You know, a little bit here, a little bit there, we'll get a little bit to get it funded. It's going to happen.
It's going to.
Right. But just a matter of
priorities
for
taxing entities.
Right.
When you start talking to the school district, and I don't want to talk for them, this is Mitch Thames' opinion.
Right.
Without any way talking for them. I can't talk to them. I don't have the idea. Right. But this is just what I understand. I understand that
Scardama, you're coming on the show. Yeah. I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah. So here's my deal. You passed a bond election.
Yep.
120, rounded around, 120 million.
Right.
Okay. They borrowed, that was maximum of what they could do to take care of all the issues that they had. Well, so that limits their ability to go for another bond issue, right?
Right.
It's just like if you've maxed out your budget on a mortgage,
right,
or on a new car,
right,
and then next year your kids want to know, well, let's do a pool or let's do this, and you think, well, the money's not there. I tied up all of my borrowing power on the mortgage or the new car, because I'm pricing new cars, and Jesus,
I know
they're triple what I paid for my first house.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah,
and so you've got the ISD that has built beautiful schools, borrowed a lot of money, built beautiful schools that aren't in the position yet. They will be. To borrow any more money or a lot more money.
Right.
So everybody's looking at the schools going, why don't you do something?
Right.
The city's much in the same process.
Right.
They've got some bonds, some borrowing that they have done in the past,
right,
previous administrations, before a city manager, before any of the council members that are there now,
right,
borrowed some money, and at the time, It was really good money of the streets. We've got a lot of streets that are redone, a lot of drainage, water and sewer. Got a lot more to do.
Right.
But really important things. And so the city, for the next few years, and I think it's 2025, is tied up with debt.
Right.
And so now the city is not able.
It's like it has to be like work, take a rest.
Take a rest.
Work. Take a rest.
Pay off
pay
the
it
debt.
off, pay off the debt, and then work
you get
again.
some more debt.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's where we are with both of those entities. Now, there could be other entities that could come on board.
Right.
Probably not Van Vleck. They just got through with a bond issue that's got them high in debt.
Right.
They'll pay it off. I think it was a smart move.
Yeah.
Beautiful campuses.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's all excited. One of the reasons we're getting housing is because of the new schools.
Yes.
Because they're looking at it going, whoa, y'all are investing in new schools.
And people have to realize you have to start somewhere if you're planning on growing.
Yes. Right.
And people, what is the first thing you look like when you go to these Zillow and all that other stuff? What's the first thing you see? Schools, education. What mark do they have? This and that. You want low marks. In order to get the marks up, you got to have the schools up. You got to, you're not going to have top graded A teachers if you put them in a crappy school. It's not going to happen. You have to have good school campuses. You have to have a rock. Doggone it, rock solid. You have to have a rock solid. Educational system and your superintendents and all that other stuff to make things smooth out. You have to have the technology, the top equipment, all this other stuff.
Yes.
Then you will get what you need in order to make it happen. But you're right. You're right, because in order to get the housing here, you have to have the education here.
You do.
And then
you got to have the buildings, evidently. I didn't know that.
Two things you have to have is the education and work.
Yeah,
Places
that's right.
for them to work. That's
jobs.
the only two.
Jobs and paychecks.
Jobs and paychecks.
I like it.
That's it. That's what you have to have.
Gotta
You have to
have
have the education,
Yes.
and then you have to have the job.
That's right.
So, it's sad to see that it's sad to see that some businesses in Bay City are closing and stuff like that. But to me, and I'm saying this, and I'm in the food industry too. It's good to see that sometimes that happens, and because that tells me that somebody's stepping up to the plate, saying that ain't right. That shouldn't go to our customers.
Right.
You're done.
Yep.
Okay, that's
There
it.
you
You're finished.
Yep.
Whether it was the corporate or whatever.
Right.
You hear about the church's chicken. You hear
Yeah,
about the
you
Taco
do.
Bell and the
Yeah.
KFC and
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep. I know.
I know the deal with the KFC and the Taco Bell.
Yep.
That guy that owned that didn't want to step up to the
Franchise.
plate. Yeah, the franchise.
Franchise.
Yeah, franchise. Didn't want to step up to the plate and do the requirements that were required by them to make it great for this town.
That's why we
boom,
lost.
Gone.
That's why we lost Golden Corral.
Golden Corral, same
Because
way.
the owner didn't want to do the modernization.
Right.
That's why we lost the movie theater.
Right.
The guy didn't want to put another dime. Would not put a dime
Right.
back into the business.
No.
Just suck those dollars out and got it out.
Those people are gamblers because they sit at the table and go, let it ride.
I know.
Let it
I
ride.
know.
You
That's
can only
what they
let
did.
something ride so long.
That's right.
Getting back to the pool, you can only let it
That's
ride
right.
so long before you have to do something
Well,
about it and not expect everybody else to pick up the tab.
I
on it.
know.
You can't. You can't point your finger and say, excuse me. You can't point your finger and say, okay, that guy's going to pay for it, and that person's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Or microphones, God dog it, I can't wait till I get these cords in. Don't touch it. Okay.
Yeah.
I look at those people that are we're good without it anyway. Those are people that don't have kids.
Right.
Those
we
are people.
need a pool.
You need a pool.
We do.
Okay. And
And let me go back and say, and we've got a lot of kids that
Yeah.
are involved in the aquatics
Yes,
programs.
yes.
That is very, 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 very
Right.
important.
Now the other thing, it is very important. The other thing which I was going to say was, there was talk about an aquatic center
Yes.
here by the
That's kind of the $27 million one. $21 million.
right. That was included. That was with the associated with the hospital though too, right?
Physical or
Like a
aquatherapy. Aquatherapy.
Aquatherapy.
Yes.
So if they build a center, which would have to be inside, most
Yeah,
likely,
right.
Inside, I mean, you can build an outside pool too, or whatever.
This was indoor outdoor.
Yeah,
You
this
could
was in-
pull up the
Right.
garage door kind of deal.
kind of deal, right? So if something went like that, I think there's too many people. I'm going to say this: there's too many people bitching and moaning about something that's not even decided on how we're going to get there
Right.
yet.
No, we're not. It's all discussion.
Right, it's all discussion.
And one of the things about the water park idea,
Yes.
that's where the revenue was going to come from.
Yes.
To support
Yes,
the pool. The
Exactly.
pool is a losing proposition.
Mm-hmm.
You are not going to make money on the pool.
no,
Renting it out for parties,
right,
concession stand,
Right.
That's all great.
yes,
But the water park was going to fund
Yes.
over 50% of the daily cost of running the pool. And so when everybody says, okay, well, get rid of the water park idea, 7, 8, I'm making these numbers up, 7, 8, $10 million. Let's eliminate that. Well, now you just eliminated your revenue
exactly right.
for the next 30 years.
That's right.
And so now some entities now have to make up
Right,
the difference in the cost
Right.
to run that pool,
Yeah.
pay the employees, buy the chemicals,
Yeah.
Make the repairs, pay the insurance, saying that there's not some industry partners that would be interested in doing that. I'm telling you, they're not going to walk in the door and say, individuals that are willing to spend hours and hours and hours
Right.
putting together a package and then go sell it.
Yes.
That's why we have the wellness center. That's why we have the hospital. That's why we have the CED. And many, many other entities. And then you start saying, okay, well, what about, I say, well, what about the county of Matagorda County? And then I wonder, is that in their mission statement? Is supporting a swimming pool, I mean, I'm 50-50. I mean, these are my tax dollars too, right? Do I want my county taxes
Right.
going to pay for a municipal / school district pool.
Right.
I don't know. Do I want my drainage district taxes doing that? Do I want my Port of Bay City taxes doing that?
Right.
Probably not,
Right.
the latter.
Right.
And so now we've got X number of entities.
Right.
I'll tell you this: we have wore our industry out.
Yeah.
We and I do it every day with the chamber. I mean, I'm always asking them for dollars.
Sure.
I get a little embarrassed, but I still do it.
Yeah.
Because I've got an operating budget that I've got to meet as well. So
you got a 50-50 shot. That's the way I always look at it.
That's right.
That's why I am who I am, because I'm not afraid to go up, because I've been told no a hell of a lot more times than I've been told yes.
Yes.
So I'm used to no.
Yes.
But when I hear yes, I'm
you
like,
expect no.
Yeah. When I hear yes, sometimes it sounds like no. Yes, you can. You know,
Yeah. No,
you're
that's
not
right.
going to know until you ask.
Right.
But if you ask and they keep saying yes, and then all of a sudden you get a no, you're going to be
Yeah.
like, well, what do we do wrong?
Yeah,
what do we do?
yeah,
No,
that's
it's just
right.
tapped, man. We just gave you $20 million for
know.
this.
Well, and look at what industry does for our youth
Right.
at the fair auction.
Yeah.
We broke a record this year at the auction, over $1 million raised.
Yes, I saw that.
for
Yeah.
our ag kids.
Yeah, and that's great.
And
To
that
me,
is
that's great.
great.
That's great. Yeah.
But it all adds up
Yeah.
when you're supporting the wellness and the hospital and the
Yes.
CED and the education.
Yeah.
Now, Tenaris built that little side building, $750,000.
Yes.
And so it just gets to and people get on the Facebook and they get on in the newspapers.
Oh yeah.
And it's so easy to them.
Well,
Well, all you got to do.
Hey.
It's not easy. I've been doing this for 18 years
Yep,
here.
yep.
It's not easy.
And the thing I want to say too is if you have an idea, and I know Mitch ever since I moved here.
Yeah.
If you have an idea or something that you know a plan that works, the man will listen to you.
I'll listen.
Go
love
and
it.
say something. Send an email.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's right.
Call the show now if you want to. 979-325-7016. 979-325-7016. If you want to talk about it, 979-325-7016. I know how some people are with that. What did he say?
Yeah.
Can
you give me that number again?
Sure, 979-325-7016. I can't
I know.
believe I remember it right now because I'm so doggone tired.
I
well,
know.
I'll tell you what.
I just want people to realize
Yeah.
it's not as easy. Now, I've raised 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 7 grandkids.
Yep.
They are very involved in sports. They're very involved in gymnastics.
Yes.
They're very involved in cheer. Believe it. I've got a granddaughter that's she's small enough. She's the one they throw up 30 feet into the air. It scares me to death.
Yeah.
Just about every sport known to man, basketball, soccer, and then my kids were very active, especially in sports and debate. My daughter
I used to love
celebrated, really did very well in debate.
Yeah.
And Jason was very good with girls and cars, and so
Oh, good man. Takes after the old man. Good.
so he did really great in sports until he found gasoline and perfume,
Oh, really?
and those were the 2 things that took him off
There's a
track
song
for a while.
There's a song about him. I'll play it.
But I've been as passionate about those things that my kids were involved in as well.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember going back and expecting somebody to cover the cost for it for me,
Yeah.
for them. But I remember those days, and I want to help. I want to be a part of that. But I think we've got to give our elected officials a break. Fussing at them, because let's pick a number. Let's pick a high number because 300 kids in our county are very active in the aquatics programs. That's right, 300. Let's say 5. Let's say 500. I don't know if what is the best use when we need schools, when we need curriculum, when we need the latest and greatest computers and technology and broadband. Where is it? And those poor elected officials, and I know them all, they lament over every dollar, every tax dollar, to make sure that it's going where it's supposed to go.
I'll tell you what you should do. Anybody that says no to this, that no, this we don't need this, that shouldn't happen, this and that. We'll get all the swim teams together. We'll put them together at the convention center.
Yeah.
And I want you to come and stand on the podium and tell them no and why.
And their parents.
Don't give me this crap. No.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want my money being spent.
So I would do that.
Yeah.
I'll be the biggest ass in town. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. If you want to say no, it's almost, you see all these kids with the problems of they're taking classes away, or you ain't doing this. They're having problems with music classes, all this art, all this other stuff that
acting.
The kids are. We have art museums that are hundreds of years old, and now we're going to stop art.
Yeah, right?
Really? Because you don't like it?
You
can't afford an art class.
Right.
Oh, but the football team gets $22 billion.
This is Texas.
I do understand that.
This is Texas.
But we're not.
We don't need wrestling, but we do need football.
No, I don't mean professional wrestling. I meant wrestling, high school wrestling.
Right. Okay,
that's a huge thing. It really is. It really is.
Right.
Yale, Michigan, Penn State, Harvard. They'll have wrestling.
What about A&M?
A&M does too.
Do they?
Yeah, sure do. Yes, they sure do.
Who's Aggies, right?
Texas does.
Okay.
Yeah, they got wrestling. Yeah, but anyway,
I digress.
Don't debate me. Anyway, I would love to take the people that are naysayers.
Yeah, I know.
Put them in front of those kids and look each and every one of them in the eye and say, "No, we're not doing this."
Yeah.
Or we're not going to spend the money, or we're not going to find out to get money for it because it's not something I'm interested in.
Right.
Just because it's something you're not interested in,
That's
or
true.
something you're not educated in, does not make it wrong to do. Sorry.
Well, and here's my other point.
Just the way it is.
And here's my point to close, and that is, don't be so easy to judge whether you're for the event or for the topic or against it. Work together with the elected officials, because it just irritates me when the keyboard warriors go on Facebook.
Yep.
Or they write letters.
The keyboard warriors.
Or they write letters to the newspapers, or they get interviewed by a newspaper reporter, and it's their way or the highway.
Yeah.
Why can't we work together? And I'm going to tell you something else. The speed of business is a lot different than the speed of government.
Yes.
If you expect the government, and I'm talking about school, city, county, state, if you expect them to make a decision in 2 weeks, you're very, 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 very naive, and you're wrong.
You're wrong, yeah.
They meet once a month. They've got workshops. They've got a lot on their plate. You're throwing something new on there. Just because you want it in 2 weeks doesn't mean it's going to happen.
That's right.
There were conversations going on between the city and the schools. The public didn't know it, but there were plenty of conversations. And I'm not talking about 2 weeks. I'm not talking about 4 months. I'm talking about 8, 9, 10, 12 months ago. This was all being discussed.
Yes.
Because that pool on 16th Street is not getting any younger.
No.
And when you start wondering, now, do you want to tear it completely out of the ground and rebuild it there? Maybe. That's the $4 to $6 million fix. But then you're not covered. You maybe you heat it. I don't know, but it's not indoor outdoor. It doesn't have any of the amenities. It doesn't have the zero radius deepness for the medical needs, for the aqua therapy.
It doesn't have the stands to sit in.
It just sits there at $4, $5, $6 million on the same property, and that's doable.
Right.
But and I will tell you, everyone, the city council members, the school board members, commissioners, they are all concerned, but they're also trying to do the best they can with the resources that they've got.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings me to the second soapbox that I want to climb on, and that is expecting and demanding things. And I do want to talk about that. Can we close with the roundabout? I'd love that. I'm on a roll, brother.
You are. Go for it.
No, I just I want all of my streets fixed.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's analyze that. That there's so many potholes. There's so many problems. One, there's not a contractor that can handle repairing all the streets at one time. So that's not going to happen because you can't even get a contractor to do that.
That's right.
Two, these days you may not even get enough supplies to do it. You may not get enough asphalt, concrete to do that big of a project that fast all at one time. So throw that idea out of the window.
Right.
And two, I had a boss one time that told me when I worked for the telephone company, and he said, because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and he said, your customer can't afford the level of service you're trying to give them. You're trying to build a Mercedes and a Rolls Royce,
right.
and they can't afford but a Chevrolet and a Ford.
Right.
And that sticks with me.
Yeah.
Do you realize what our tax rate here in Bay City would have to be? Double it or triple it
Right.
to give people the things that they want. Their little view of the world, they're looking there with their little blinders on, and they want this fixed because that's important to them. We can't afford that. I can't afford that.
Right.
Don't be talking about our tax rate. Nobody will believe me here in Matagorda County. But our city tax rate, especially our county tax rate, is less than Fort Bend, Harris, Galveston, Missouri.
Yeah, it is.
Their tax rates are way, way, way higher than ours.
Yeah.
And we've got elected officials that are keeping it low,
Right.
lowish. I know the values of your land continues to go, and your property continues to go up. Mine too.
Yes.
That's the reason I ran for state rep, was to go to Austin and put some kind of limits on how much they can increase our values.
Right.
But I didn't get elected, so I'm not there. I'm in the stands instead of on the floor, and I'm still banging on it.
Right.
And then you got windstorm insurance wanting to go up.
Yes.
I'm telling you, we as a population need to be very careful what we ask our politicians to give us, or they may give it to us and we can't afford it.
That's correct.
And that's county, that's city,
Yes.
that's even state.
Yeah.
We have got to be careful with demanding all of these. I want the government to pay for this.
Right.
And I want the government to pay for my schools, and I want them to pay for my roads, and I want them to pay for the pool. Guys, start adding that up. Get a calculator,
Right.
and and figure out what it would cost. If let's just throw some numbers out there. If we built, let's pick a number, $15 million. If the city built a $15 million pool. And then wanted to add to our taxes so they could pay for it. You're talking about anywhere from 25 cents to $1 extra in your tax rate. Increase it fourfold. So what you're paying the city now, quadruple it, and they'll take care of your need. And that scares me. I don't want people to realize that.
Yeah.
If you want the government to do something, the government has got to find a way to pay for it.
There has to be there, and I'm going to say something. I was just thinking when you were saying about this
I love
too.
it.
There has to be a priority in what gets done and what does not get done. There has to be a priority set.
Yes.
And then you have to divide your priorities into sections.
Yes.
Education.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Development.
Mobility.
Development.
I got it. Right.
Streets and highways.
Yeah. Law enforcement.
Safety. That's safety.
Safety.
Okay.
Got to add that in there.
You got to add that in there. And then the vacation people. What's the word I'm trying to look for?
The hotel motel tax.
Hotel motel.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. So separate and putting that all together.
Yeah. That's called city and school district budgets. That's exactly what the budget is. You just described it.
Okay. So I recently found out, and this is true. This is 100% true. There's a fire department
Yes.
within our county
Yes.
that has multiple fire trucks that are unoperational
Oh, okay.
at this time.
Okay.
I fought this battle before when I was vice president of the Matagorda Firemen's Association, and when I was involved with 2 fire departments, and I got to know these guys and stuff like that. It saddens me to know that the volunteers raise money to get these trucks and stuff like that. Once they get the trucks, the county owns the trucks. Okay. The county owns the trucks.
Right.
They're registered through the county.
Right.
All that stuff is paid and everything through the county.
Okay.
But when there's issues on this stuff, there's never enough money there.
That's right.
To fix something. Now I'm going to put this out, and this is nothing against any of the commissioners or out there. I think they're all great guys. I know Kent Pollard. I know Bubba.
Yeah.
I know all these guys. And Kent I worked with, and Bubba I've talked to him. Bubba actually sponsors what we do on Gulf Coast One Radio. So
excellent.
I'm not going to say nothing bad. And no, their hands are tied with budget money too.
That's right.
Okay. 2 issues on this.
Yeah. I'm ready.
We had talked, and the judge was there at that time, where we were trying to do this deal, like they have in Danavang, like they have in El Campo and stuff.
Yeah.
That tax
an additional taxing entity
that would cover the emergency services in the county.
Yes.
Okay. It's called There's an I keep on. It's like
a special taxing.
It's an NDS something whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. There was more complaints about a 10-cent tax
from the public
that would keep you safe.
Yeah.
All the time with top equipment, top training, everything all the time. And they're still volunteers. These are non-paid people that will put their lives on the line.
Many of them every day.
And the problem is they're already putting their lives on the line when they step into a truck or an emergency vehicle.
Yep.
That you don't know if you might make it there or not. There were the tire situation we had talked about before, and there were trucks that had tires on 16 to 20 years tires.
Right.
I recently found out through somebody that Matagorda, the fire department, got that all taken care of. That was one of the big things, and I'm glad for that. So hooray for Kent Pollard getting that done. There's an issue with me there.
Right.
That the priorities are not there.
Your equipment has a shelf life. So
let me tell you something. The equipment that they wear.
Yeah.
Okay, the equipment they wear.
Yeah.
County don't pay that.
Right. I understand.
We paid for our own boots, and the guys pay for that. Guy comes, fits them into this. Okay, it's going to be so much for this. I know the county pays a little bit or whatever towards it or whatever goes to it, but. Emergency services, we live along the coast.
Yeah.
Numerous phone calls about people drowning and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The fire departments are the ones that go down there. The sheriff's department, the police, they're not going to go in there and, they do assist. They do help those guys. I'm not going to say they won't, but they assist, but these guys are people that do not get paid to do a job to keep you safe.
No, I understand.
I do. It doesn't make sense to me why we can't come together as a county or as a group and say, you know what, I was always with that guy. I want to have the best, and I want to do the best I can to make something right, and then sit back and be able to look at it and just coast because we did it right the first time. We did it right.
So the answer is, would you elect a commissioner? Would a commissioner get reelected if he increased the tax rate by 20 cents per dollar over the 41 cents? So if we go from 41 cents on the dollar in a county tax rate, and I think I'm right, 41.55 to 60 cents. Fort Bend's probably 80. Or if we got a special taxing district and the county was 41.55 and this taxing entity was 20 cents, what would happen to that county commissioner?
The problem is, though.
Answer me.
I'm going to. The problem is sell it. If the county commissioner was good enough to be able to sell it the right way and tell the truth, hey, this is what's happening. This is what we need.
I think you're. I think I'd love for somebody to call in and say, please increase my taxes.
No.
Will there be a public call in right now? What's the number?
1-800 Stud Muffin. It's 979 325 7016. 979 325 7016.
I want 5 people to call in and tell me you're willing to pay additional 20 cents additional tax rate, either through a special taxing entity or through the county
and by
budget.
the way, it was 10 cents.
10. Now, let's do 10.
10 cents.
10 cents.
It was 10
so
cents.
41 to 51.
Dana Vang is 8.1
and now you also have to, let's throw employee salaries in. So I'm working for the county, and I hire on at the county for $11 an hour. I can go to but I can go to Buc-ee's and start at Buc-ee's in Wharton for $15 an hour.
That's right.
So already.
But I'm talking about firefighters.
I know. I understand.
Emergency equipment.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. There's a lot of county employees that would say before you spend 10 cents more for emergency equipment, you need to get my salary where it needs to be.
They can say that.
They can.
They can absolutely. They have every right to say it. But
as they call it,
will you sleep good at night knowing that the fire department's not going to be able to get to your house in case there's an emergency?
I'm in favor of a special taxing district.
Yes,
I am in favor of that.
Right, that's what I'm talking
about.
I'm
telling you that the vast majority of this community
would say no.
You're right. Uneducated no.
Right. That's why I'm saying about the commissioner coming in and saying to them, it's like an election. You have to sell yourself in order to get elected.
You do.
Right?
And they sell themselves by saying that I will lower your tax rate.
Bull. Tell the truth.
But they tell the truth. They may not. I told the truth and I didn't get elected.
I know.
I told them I couldn't support open carry guns.
Right.
And they ran a damn flyer with me and said they couldn't find my picture. That I was such an unknown entity that they couldn't even find a picture of me because I wouldn't support open carry.
I got a picture of you. Want a picture? I got a picture.
But
there he is, right there.
I
understand that. I understand it.
And it's frustrating for those elected officials.
It's frustrating, and I know it's frustrating for you, but it's frustrating for me, a guy like me, that has a stupid political science degree that understands how crap like that works, but knowing that if something was done about it, it would be better and put to the side and put the rest.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with you. One of the things that I've talked about a lot is...
But you said it was something district? What is it? A
special taxing district.
It's
an emergency...
Yes.
I don't know what the acronym is, but I know exactly.
EMD or something like that. It was
emergency something district.
Yes.
Emergency improvement district.
Yeah.
And it's all geared to paying for police, fire.
And we had that meeting already, by the way.
No, I know.
Well, Nate and I and all the group of a lot of people, we had that meeting, and it was in, where the heck was it? It was at the Bay City Fire Department, second floor. We had the meeting, and
we're talking about Unified 911. We're talking about all kinds of things.
Yes, money comes from the taxes. For better equipment, better support for the guys that are coming, the air packs, all that other stuff.
And they have a shelf life.
Right. And the county then has no part of anything. Fuel, anything.
No, I know.
Yeah, taking care of the stuff. It just releases from it.
Then here's what we need to do.
And I would
file. Do you think it would pass if we filed legislation or filed the proper paperwork to get it? Because I don't know. I'd have to check. I don't know if that's something that the legislature would have to set up. I think it is. But it would be local in consent. Nobody else in the state of Texas cares if Matagorda County puts an emergency improvement district together.
Right.
It'd be local in consent.
There was a guy from Austin that was here. And I'm sorry I don't remember his name. And Nate probably knows who it was.
No, I'm sure.
And the way they explained, because Nate had a lot of great questions to ask about it, this and that, blah 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 blah. So that was just a few years. It was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. 4 years ago when we discussed.
Maybe it's time to do that again.
I really think it is. I really think it is. As the population grows.
Well, no, I understand. We start growing some extra houses. That'll free up some extra money.
Population grows.
But here's what I hear people say. My taxes better go down. And I'm telling them, your taxes is already lower than any other. Maybe Jackson County's lower. Maybe Calhoun County. I don't know. I know Fort Bend's about 80 cents, 85 cents. I know Missouri is
what are we here?
About 41.55.
So we're half of
what everybody else is doing.
Right. But where do people go when they want to go shopping and go out when they go out of town? Where do they go?
I mean,
County.
Look at those beautiful brand new fire stations. I mean, my goodness, Rosenberg's that, and Rosenberg is a lot like where we were years ago, and I lived there, and I back in the 80s they had a volunteer fire department,
right,
and then they moved to a paid fire chief,
right.
But we did the same thing with the equipment and those kinds of things. My hat's off. You don't remember this, but we were very active with the Bay City Fire Department, trying to get them a retirement to pay for their retirement.
I do remember.
And the community dismissed it.
Yeah,
they voted it down.
Right.
Now, they were asking for the Cadillac. They were asking for the Rolls Royce, where I kind of thought that they ought to ask for the Chevrolet,
right,
and let's build up to the Mercedes Benz.
Right. And I agree with that. It's a volunteer job.
They went all the way.
Yeah.
And it was going to I don't want to misstep, but it was going to add a tremendous. It was going to be in excess of 8% increase in the city's tax rate, because 8 cents was the rollback. It was going to trigger a rollback election for that one thing,
right? And
the community voted it down. Now, did the fire department do an adequate job of selling it?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, they were in charge of that.
And that's the thing too, with that EID.
EID.
Okay, so the EID.
I know. You got to sell it.
You have to sell
Who's
it.
going to sell it?
The firefighters and the volunteers would have to go in.
I would say that your firefighters are probably the most connected into their rural communities.
Yes,
and they are probably very well known.
Yep.
And if each and every one campaigned, put a campaign together, put it on the ballot,
right,
and ran a campaign,
right,
a real campaign,
right,
and maybe even I'm gonna say it, hired a consultant to help them with the campaign,
right,
then it might pass. It certainly passed in Pecan Grove where I live.
Yeah, I said, Danavang,
Fulshire. That's
El
how
Campo,
you're doing Fulshire, El Campo, and so, but it takes a leader.
It does.
It takes and so
it does.
I mean, it's perfectly okay to expect an elected official to be the leader.
Yeah,
it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any problem with that.
Right.
But you got to have a leader.
You do,
and you've got to have a committed campaign.
Yes.
You can't. Here's my problem, Jeff.
Go ahead.
You can't want it and run around bitching that you don't have it.
Right.
You've got to make that positive effort to move things forward.
Yeah.
I tried a transportation improvement district because I'm listening to the commissioners. All four of them tell me they don't have enough money to fix the roads in their district.
Yes. Heard
then
that.
Let's create a transportation improvement district. Let's go to Austin. Let's get it passed. Send it to the voters.
Right.
Let's take 3-5 cents and get you the money you need to fix the roads that your constituents wants fixed.
Right.
And it never stepped forward.
Well, there's probably a million of those that I probably think of to do, but
and so
I agree.
There are a lot of tools out there that we can use. I'll tell you what, TERS, taxing reinvestment zones, have been around for 40 years or more. And yet this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we've just started in earnest using that tool that the state gave us 40 years ago.
Yeah.
The state gives us these tools that you need to get our fire departments and our emergency services where they need to be. It's a leadership. It boils down to who's going to take the reins, who's going to pay the price, because I'm going to tell you, I don't know that it's going to be very.
You know what each fire department gets a year?
$2,500.
$2,500.
Yeah. Period.
A year. That's a year.
A year.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I also know.
But that's set by is that set by the county or the state?
County.
Set by the county.
So the county budgets $2,500. And I think they pay. I don't remember now. Don't start. People will start quoting me. I think they pay a little bit on the power bill, and I don't know.
Yes.
Pay a little bit on this and a little bit on that.
Yes.
They carry the insurance on the trucks.
Yes.
Which isn't cheap.
Nope.
And I have known over the past. I didn't know we had fire trucks parked because of repair issues, but I have known in the past. Commissioner Desautel's taking some of his money out of his budget, county budget, to get vehicles fixed.
Yeah.
I know Sergeant's done that. I know the county has done some work with them. I don't know. I don't know the extent of that.
Yeah.
I do know that when Van Vleck was having serious problems with their manning their fire department. I know our commissioner helped Sergeant pick up the slack, and then tried to pick up the Van Vleck territory.
Yep.
And then Bay City also was doing something in the Van Vleck area. And so I get it. It's educating the public. I did a campaign, paid the chamber paid $10,000, CDC paid $30,000. The community, the retailers paid $30,000, $70,000 to pass the liquor. I called it the liquor equality law, because we had areas of the city and the county that was dry.
Yes.
And so to have a facility, have a bar or a restaurant there,
right,
you had to be a private club.
Right.
Private club cost more.
Yes.
A lot of regulations, a lot of problems with it.
I knew all about that too.
So,
yeah.
So we spent $70,000 on a campaign to get the public to say everything can be wet. It cost them nothing. It passed 80 to 20.
Right.
And but it cost $70,000 to do that.
Yes.
And so to run a campaign to educate people, it costs money.
Yeah.
You got to do advertising.
I agree.
You got to have a leader.
But you got to have what I said earlier. You got to have different things, to focus on.
How do you think the teachers get things done? How do you think they got a teacher's raise? There's so many teachers. They're spending
money out of their own pockets to make the.
They mobilized.
Yeah.
They lobbied. They had everybody they're related to lobby. All of a sudden, and I know this. If you don't think the legislators know who's voting and who's not voting, and can cross-reference that with the teachers' roles, it scared the legislatures to death.
I'm sure it did.
That 70% of the teachers voted.
Yeah.
Guess what happened that next session? They got a raise.
Yeah.
If somebody mobilizes enough people to get something passed, they're a powerful entity.
Yes.
And that's what the teachers did. I watched it. I talked to the legislators. They said, "Oh man, it was 70% of the teachers turned out to vote. We better give them what they want."
Yeah.
And that's where we are.
Yeah.
So,
and I want to say this real quick, and I just thought about this when you said about the roads too. The other day, down there at the restaurant, my place down there were two huge potholes, but it wasn't the parking lot; it was the actual road, eroding away. 2051, I think that turns right there. Okay.
Yeah.
On
State Highway
2051. sir.
Okay.
State Highway 2051 and Highway 60. Right. Okay.
Yes.
State.
I can't imagine why Pollard won't fix those potholes.
So I didn't call Pollard.
It's illegal for Pollard to do it.
Right. Sorry. It is.
Yeah.
Because it's a state.
It's a state
highway.
Asset.
It's not a county highway. It's a state highway.
Right.
So I called up to TxDOT early in the morning, about 8, 9 o'clock. I kid you not, 11:30 they were there fixing the potholes.
Gosh. How cool.
Right. So the two guys that came down, and this sucks. This is why it sucks to be me. So the guy gets out of the truck and he walks over with this big smile on his face, and they said, "Yeah, we're here to see Jeff Michaels." "You're Jeff Michaels," and I'm like, "Yes, I'm Jeff Michaels." Is Lydia here? I'm like, "Oh man." It's the radio, right? The radio. There's the radio.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought it was you. I drove by here before. I thought it was you. This and that, and the pot. We came down. We're fixing the potholes. We're gonna take care of these potholes. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
There you go.
I'm gonna get slammed on this one. Somebody said,
Right.
"Oh, these potholes for 20 years. He gets his fix in 20 minutes."
Right.
So I want to thank
Power of the radio.
TxDOT. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know sometimes. I want to thank TxDOT.
Yes.
For coming down there and fixing those potholes. Okay.
Thank them for the roundabout.
Okay. Here we go.
How long ago did I warn you about the roundabout?
Man, a
Year?
Yeah, at least a year.
And I told them I wanted an overpass, and I don't know. I mean, I'll learn the roundabout.
All right. So the whole deal.
We have to roundabout to go to your restaurant.
Yeah.
It's called the Texas Two-Step.
The Texas Two-Step. That's what. So in order to get to my restaurant, come down 60.
Yeah.
Do
the roundabout.
Do a do-si-do.
Half a do-si-do.
Half a do-si-do.
You just do a half a do-si-do.
Half a do-si-do. Do a little dog leg. the whole direction. You get directions in Texas way with.
Yeah.
We only got a few minutes here.
I know. I'm ready.
So
I'm done.
I
had to throw the roundabout in there.
You had to do
a bomb, and then we'll end it.
Another 2-hour conversation about the roundabout. They do work. I've seen them work. Okay,
they reduce the severity of an accident.
They reduce the severity. Not
going to say that they reduce the number of accidents.
No, they eliminate the severity of accidents because I've seen roundabout accidents living in New Jersey and New York. That's all they got over there. Roundabout. And some states made them illegal and got rid of them.
Right.
Pennsylvania was one.
Well, here's my question. If you're going to ignore a red light, why are you going to yield to the roundabout? Yeah. I mean, somebody needs to help me on that. I wanted an overpass just so everybody knows. Mitch Thames voted for an overpass. And say,
why did you do that? It's not.
I want an overpass. Yeah. I didn't care if it was 26, 68, or 60. I wanted an overpass, and we're getting a roundabout. So we're going to go European and Northern.
Aye.
So Yankees, all the Yankees down here, they'll know what to do. They'll be able to drive to your restaurant.
That's a little poke at me. That's all right.
Us Southern boys, I don't know if we can make it down. What if I get on it and I don't know how to get off, and I just drive around in circles?
Well, I'm going to put up all kinds of signs for the corner deli in Taqueria with arrows. Draw pictures of Philly cheesesteaks.
I like it.
Follow the Philly.
Yeah. Do you get your
get to the deli?
With or without?
What?
With or without? And that how you ask?
With or without?
With or without?
Yeah.
Okay.
Forget about it.
I forget about it. I got to have it with or without.
With or without.
All right.
But
good night, folks.
Are we done?
I've been on a roll. I mean, this is 3 weeks pent up.
I don't care what you do. The damn roundabout's coming in, all right?
It's coming.
Go on Facebook. They show you exactly how to use the roundabout.
I like C.
I like C.
Vehicle C.
Yes, and if you understand what we're saying, okay, Vehicle C.
Vehicle C.
That will be you people right there.
Exactly
Vehicle C.
Right.
You'll be pissed off.
Email us and tell us what you think. Let's have some feedback.
Yeah, Jeff,
give us a call.
Jeff at Gulf Coast One Radio. at gmail. Or Jeff at GulfCoastRadio.com. You can email me there, Jeff at GulfCoastRadio.com, or GulfCoast1Radio at gmail.com. You can either one of those call and call us in. Now, there's people that catch the show sometimes, and I see that there's 12 or 13 phone calls, and they think we're live at that time. We are live on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. So if you're hearing this on a Saturday,
right?
No,
we're not here.
No, and some of those calls have been coming in at 1 o'clock, and Mitch and I at 1 o'clock are doing the do-shi-do by the roundabout.
That's exactly.
We have nothing to do.
Normally, I'm in bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
so
me too. So
that proves that
it's past my bedtime now. But
give us some feedback, folks. Hey, if you want us to interview somebody, give us a call.
Let us know who you
like to know.
Yeah, who you want to hear from, because we'd be more than happy to do that.
I may try to. We've got our state comptroller Glenn Hager coming Thursday.
Right.
If you teach me how, I may do a 10-minute recording with him.
Sure.
And we can play that.
Yeah.
He'll talk a little bit
He's
about
coming next Thursday?
The 21st. So not today.
Yeah, next Thursday.
So next Thursday.
Thanks, Mitch.
Yeah.
So swear to God.
Not tonight.
He's I had not long coming. Arms.
He's not coming tonight.
Oh, man.
Next Thursday. But anybody else, and we, I've been working a lot with our county judge-elect, Bobby Seiferman. We can get him on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Our city manager, too. I'd like to
Yeah. Say, keep Shauna in your prayers. Shauna Burkhart.
Yeah.
Her mom passed away in Abilene, and so she's dealing with funeral arrangements, and give her family a quick prayer when you get on your knees tonight, and or whenever you pray or however you pray. Please keep her in your prayers. That. Her mom has been her cornerstone, just as all our moms are and were. So keep her in your prayers. She can use it.
Yep, definitely. Mitch?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, buddy.
I'll be all wound up.
Good. Come and take a nap, please. If it is about this damn roundabout.
We're going to talk about the roundabout next Thursday.
Yeah. You know what they should do?
Tell me.
Put a swimming pool in the middle of the roundabout. We'd be good.
Oh, yeah, with lanes. That's right.
If the state pay for it.
I love this.
It's an idea. All right, guys. Well, thank you all very much for listening to us right here on Gulf Coast One Radio and Inside Texas with Mitch and Jeff. We'll see you all next week.